You know, I'm starting to feel singled out here. First the AI came for the art, now it's coming for the programming, and the next thing on deck's gonna be the music. I'll guarantee you that much, and like a week from now, but does any of this even really matter? Well, to me it does. These are like all the things that I do, but should I be worried? Should I be panicked? Should I be trying to get my old crappy pizza job back because the AI is going to come and gobble up all the big brain work like scientist, professional liar, and professional liar?
I don't
know, let's find out. To the Nerd Cave! So I got this little cubic interpolation function that I use everywhere, and I figure it's going to be a pretty good test for ChatGPT. By the way, it's basically impossible to log into ChatGPT right now. Artificial demand created by hype or a genuine inability to scale their servers. You tell me. Anyway, I figure this is a pretty easy test because the function and the math are pretty straightforward. A good programmer could probably do it in, 5 minutes. Or let's be honest, go to Stack Overflow and copy and paste some code in your project, but generate a C++ function that does cubic interpolation given 4 double data points and returns a double. Okay, I'm gonna click whatever this paper airplane is, and it's thinking, ooh, yeah, that's working pretty good. I don't know, it's generating something. Cool. I guess let's plug it in and see if it generates similar data. Okay, so let's check it out here. I just want to check if the data is reasonable here, and the ChatGPT function isn't. And if we look, we can see it's because I'm expecting to do 4 data points and then find, whatever X value of those data points I want. And the ChatGPT is a little different here. It's taking 4 double values, blah blah blah, tangents. Interpolated value is a double value to be interpreted. I don't know what any of this means, so I'm going to try again and be a little more specific here. Okay, C++ function. Let's actually do that and see what that generates. Oh, an error occurred. Cool. Probably because the server's overloaded. I'm going to go ahead and try one more time here. Whoop. Okay, here we go. Okay, you know what? This actually looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited about it. Let's slap it in there. Yeah, that's not bad. It's there's some wiggle room in the math because it's interpolation, but that's pretty close. It's reasonable. Let's see what happens if I change the position here. That's a little bit different, but I would say it's still within the parameters of being reasonable data. So we can write a function, but how about a program? Let's give it something simple. Back when I was first learning how to program many years ago, I was working my way through Lawrence Drustrup's book about C++, and at some point he wants you to make something called Hunt the Wumpus. Now this is a very simple game, and there's probably a ton of code source examples out there for the AI to have trained on, but let's type it and see what it does. At first glance, this looks okay, I guess. It's definitely an implementation of some version of Hunt the Wumpus, but there's supposed to be arrows and pits and bats, and the rooms aren't supposed to just be next to each other, but, for a YouTube video, simpler might be better. But even in a super simple, stripped down, well-documented version of the program like this, I'm already seeing the AI make mistakes that a human programmer probably wouldn't. Well, maybe they would, but they'd debug it before they handed it off to somebody, because that's what humans do, they test things. AI maybe not so much, but that's actually a huge part of programming, but I'll give the AI some credit. It knows enough to seed the random function with the system time so you don't get the same game over and over and over and over again. And it's adding a 1 to the generated room number so the player never sees a room 0. So let's test it out and see how it plays. But first, to quickly explain the stupid game just so we know where the AI is failing us. You start in a room and you're looking for the Wumpus. Now, you want to find the Wumpus because you want to kill him and make some tasty Wumpus burgers. So you wander from room to room, and sometimes you can smell the Wumpus and his tasty Wumpus meat. And eventually, hopefully, you find the Wumpus and kill it before he has a chance to eat you. And that's it. Simple. Bob's your uncle, Child's Play Part 4, Bride of Chucky. But look at all this stupid crap I can do here, man. Okay, so I'm in room 12. Go to 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Sorry, sir. I think you're not going to win. Seconds.
Oh, I smelled a Wumpus. He must be in room 20. Let's try it again. 14. Okay. Oh, I found it. Okay, I'm in room 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Room 0, -1. Yeah, that's not right. That's not right. Oh. The biggest issue I see here is that there's no range testing. The AI defines the number of rooms, but it doesn't check to see if you stay within that range, so you can step out of it like old Joe Jackson and float off into infinity, which can sometimes be fun and trippy, but games need rules. So let's fix this AI slop and see if we can get it working right. I think you could probably do it just changing this one little line of code here. Yeah, that should probably do it. While we're at, there's some more things I could probably nitpick here, though. You know, this variable could probably be put outside the loop for efficiency purposes. And you know, there's a lot of anal retentive programmers out there who'll tell you to call namespaces directly, but if we do something like this, you know, we can save ourselves a lot of time here. And you know, I'm also going to add a little cin.get here, just so the program doesn't close before we got time to read that message. Now that might seem trivial, but I think it's actually a really important point because it has to do with human interaction and feedback, and I think ChatGPT understands all about that. Now, amazingly, I still have my old Wumpus code. Don't have any of the other code from when I was learning how to program, but I specifically remember writing this one on the way to LA on my mom's old laptop, and somehow that code still exists, so I thought it might be fun to take a look at it and compare it to the AI. Okay, so here's my old code from when I was a beginner programmer, and it's pretty surprising that I already have things like classes going on, and hopefully even if you're not a programmer you can see that this is a little more complex looking than what the AI spit out. But right off the bat here I can see bools that should probably be types, and these rooms are hard-coded when you probably could write a function to randomize all of them. But you know, whatever, let's just play it and see how it goes.
Stop that!
We seem to be experimenting some technological differences.
Welcome to Hunt the Wumpus. The goal is to hunt the Wumpus. Looks like you can shoot arrows and stuff now, so that's cool. Let's move to room 6. Let's move to room 3. Oops, I smelled the Wumpus. Okay, let's shoot an arrow into 4.
Steady.
10, 12. Oh. I slew the Wumpus apparently there.
Dang.
Now I'm starting to feel bad, like I didn't give the AI enough of a chance, so let's try and do it again. Okay, so it's kind of doing what I did with the classes for the room. I guess it's maybe even in the C++ book. No more work for the AI to do here. Yeah, let's give this one a shot, eh? I'm in room 14. Which room do I want to move to? No explanation of the rules or anything, but okay. Bats. Okay, that's a lot of bats whisking me away. I don't know what happened. I'll have to... Let's try again. So it keeps kind of crashing when I load it. I don't know why. Maybe I'm probably starting in the room with the Wumpus. Again, it doesn't pause the application for me to see what's going on before it exits. I think I fell to my death. You know what? This is frustrating me, so I'm just going to go ahead and stop playing it. But, you know, with enough work and tweaking the prompt, maybe you can get something cool going. But you still have to debug it and test it and fix it. So at this point, what's the point? What's the point? So what do we learn today? Well, admittedly, I'm not the world's best programmer. Probably not even in the top 50%, but AI and especially ChatGPT right now are definitely worse. And I could use the prompt and tweak it to do exactly what I needed to, but just like the AI art, at a certain point you might as well be doing it yourself, right? That's not to say AI won't get better, because it will, but the question is by how much. Right now, it's all razzle with maybe a little bit of dazzle. So much of the work that I do and the work that you do too, the real value in it is thinking up solutions to problems that people may or may not have, and then figuring out how to make those solutions feel good to a human. And how is an AI ever going to get really great at that, huh? Think about how much of the world we live in needs to be designed for humans to interact with in a fun or at least efficient way. Pretty much all of it. So even something stupid like web UI should probably just mostly be designed by people, because people are the people who are going to end up peopling them. Or take something like self-driving cars. The reason it's taken so long to solve that engineering problem is because cars were designed with people in mind. Following distances, traffic lights, brakes, all these things have been optimized for people and their reaction times. And so no matter how much a technology like this develops and how well you train the AI, it's always going to be a bit of an inelegant solution. I mean, why do self-driving cars even have f***ing steering wheels and windshields? It should just be full of sensors and cameras and servos if an AI is just going to drive it, right? And just like driving a car, something like programming needs to be done with human interactions in mind too. AI might be able to streamline and replace a lot of lower level monkey code, but personally I don't have a problem with that because I'm not getting paid by the hour. And I can't say that you'll never be able to train it to think exactly like a human or anticipate human problems, but why would you do that? The whole point in creating artificial general intelligence should be to make something that's decidedly not human. Because we already got humans, like 8 billion of them. And maybe AI gets so goddamn good at everything that it can engineer entire ecosystems, whole cities, but you know, people probably wouldn't want to live in them. We designed the first Matrix to be a complete utopia, but you stinky humans are always shitting the bed. That's really the key here. People tend to value things made by other humans. Just taking a look at the crazy witch hunt, lawyer, cash grab, pile and shitstorm going on against Stability AI and AI art right now should be enough to tell anybody that. Or think about it this way. How long have pneumatic player pianos existed? 130 years? But you still like when you go to a fancy restaurant and there's an actual human playing an actual piano while you're sucking down your $200 poo-poo platter? Do people still go out to concerts even though you can own a record or stream a perfectly engineered version of a song on Spotify? Do people still pay for portrait paintings even though cameras and printers exist? Now, programming might be a little more abstracted, but I can almost guarantee you that when it comes to things that you're going to have to interact with, you're going to prefer the one programmed by a human to that of an AI. Or at least value it more. Don't get me wrong, AI and all these tools are cool, and I'm already getting some use out of them, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here. You all remember what happened with crypto, and that was only like 8 months ago. AI is going to replace some things, and some people are definitely going to lose their jobs, but isn't that what technology always does? It's going to eliminate some mundane work, but at the same time it's going to open up creative new possibilities for people who otherwise wouldn't have the resources, time, or skills to do these kind of things, and at the end of the day, isn't that a net gain for everyone, you stupid, selfish bastards? And if you do that kind of work, the kind of brain drain, no thinking, monkey clicking, I want to kill myself every Tuesday morning work that probably already sucks, then you'll just have to find something else to do. Just like all the people who would have been farmers 2 centuries ago, and now they do something else. And what the hell, you know, maybe, just maybe, you'll find that new work fulfilling. Well, at least as fulfilling as doing anything in this imaginary digital world we're living in can be.
Sir, I have to take my traveler's check to a competing resort.
Bite my shiny metal ass.